Hi there, rugby fans, and welcome to another episode of the RFD show. I'm joined by Stephandre, the boss, and today we're going to discuss about South African rugby and what's going on, seeing as Australia and New Zealand are both, as of this weekend that passed, both started playing again. Well, New Zealand has been playing a while, and Australia started again. Not any excitement, not any fireworks from their side, but luckily they have rugby. Stephandre, so what do you say about that?
No, I'm very excited for that as well, to see them back on the field. I think the first games wasn't too bad, but the fitness lacked a bit. But they will get it back on order again, on top form. So I'm very excited to see more rugby. That's always good.
Yeah, and obviously speaking about more rugby, the question is when South Africa will join on this trend. And you mentioned now off air that the Cheetahs and the Kings might play sometimes, and we'll discuss that now. But when do you think will we see something like a Super Rugby or a Curry Cup or Vodacom Cup or whatever tournament they want to think up now in this time? When do you think we'll start seeing something like that in South Africa?
I think that is actually the question that is just hanging in the air at the moment, because we don't know where we're going in South Africa with the coronavirus, the pandemic, and with all the sport. So if I had any say in this, I would probably say test all the rugby players, maybe 2 or 3 teams, get them out to somewhere like in Kimberley where there's nothing. Okay, no offense to anybody in Kimberley, and then play them there in like a what do you call it? A centralized place. You understand what I'm saying? So they play only one pitch, they only have a game on a weekend or whatever. But they're not even cleared for training at the moment. That is what is concerning me quite hectic, that they can't put anything in place at the moment with all the things that we know about the coronavirus, get them back into training. That I think is more it's actually worse than not knowing when we are going to see rugby again.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because if you knew, then you could have planned something. You could have started stirring up some excitement. And I know it's been a week on delay because it gets to the day before and then it gets cancelled and it gets moved out a week, and then something happens and then someone gets tested and something comes out. And sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. And, safety is first. I understand that. But obviously we're getting anxious to watch rugby, and I don't want to risk people's life just to watch rugby, because obviously lives are important.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
But speaking about that, that's a negative part of we don't know when we're seeing rugby. And sorry, spoiler alert to the rest of the world, we don't know. South Africa doesn't even know. Our players doesn't even know. But on the positive side, you mentioned Kolisi,
Yes.
and what he's doing positively now, and I want you to elaborate more on that. And then also exciting news that I want to share from the RFD side.
So yes, just before we go into Kolisi, there is one game we might see on the 22nd of August between the Cheetahs and the EP Kings, the Southern Kings, and hopefully we can see that. But till further notice, we can't report that will happen. Hopefully, okay. But anyway, let's dive into Kolisi. So if you guys then follow him on Instagram, big shout out for all of our listeners. Go follow him on Instagram. He is so active in the community in Cape Town. Him and his wife, Rachel, is like a power couple here in South Africa. They do very well for the community, for the people around them. They love causes, and they even run their own personal brands, their own businesses as well, trying to make a difference in the world and adding value. So he was actually featured on the Rugby World Most Influential People in 2020. Kolisi ranked number 1. And I'm very excited about that. Of course, he was our captain as well, but it just shows that he is more influential than just rugby. He is a rugby player. He captained his side to victory. Awesome stand-up person, just a guy, a person, stand-up. Yes. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is he's more influential in rugby today than ever before, and I think that will just continue. He has been invited to America. He went to a couple of things there as well to do charity and sponsorship events and so on. He went to England. He met Jurgen Klopp of Liverpool's big Liverpool fan. So I'm trying to get off the point at the moment, but I'm trying also to say he is more influential than just a rugby player, and that excites me. because all these rugby players have a voice, and I hope that they all use it for to add value onto their fans, and not just a way of saying, you know what, I've 200 followers on Instagram, I need to get paid more. I don't know. They are using it as a leverage chip. So yes, well done to Siya Kolisi, captain of the Boks. Very well done. I'm super glad that you are in that role, and with your leadership and your capacity, I am excited for more championships.
Yeah, and obviously his influence scales to a level that promotes more rugby in our nation,
Yes.
under the young guys, under the young boys, under the young players, because obviously girls rugby is obviously starting to develop in the world. So his influence is stretching so far, even to things unseen. And I just want to honor him for that, and let him just know that if you guys can tag him in this podcast, just let him know that obviously he is making a difference, and we see it, and we want to support him, and we are backing him in everything he does.
Yes.
So moving on, we have some exciting news. I'm not going to drop names yet, but as an RFD team, we have decided we're going to interview some players as well in this lockdown time, South African players for a start. So we just I'm not going to drop names yet and spoil it, because you have to wait and see. But that's just interesting to let you guys know about, because as rugby is not yet started, we just want to let you guys know what the rugby players are up to. They're still human, and they still have emotions, and we just want to connect to them and give them a chance to say something to their fans as well. Keep an eye out for that. I hope I'm allowed to share it, because I didn't ask permission, but I'm sharing it anyway.
That's
So,
awesome news. Awesome news.
So yeah, so we have a couple of lined up, and we're working on a couple of more. That's English, and hopefully that will come soon. But yeah, keep an eye out for those, and then you can tag them as well. But obviously they'll share it, hopefully. So yeah, and I think just let us know who you want us to talk to, if you have any personal preference, but obviously help us by tagging them in the podcast as well.
Absolutely. And if everything works out as we wish in the future, we will even open up our Twitter account for you guys, all the rugby fans, to send us some questions through. And then if it is a great question, we will maybe ask them that question on air. So that will be very cool as well.
Yeah, then there's definitely room for expansion in this. So that's why it's not too late to jump onto the RFD family and this community. And just a community we're all based on rugby, and where we go forward as a community loving rugby, and just hoping that we can stand together as a nation and get rugby soon on Loftus Versfeld, Emirates Airline Park, Kings Park. I can't remember the Stormers' name. Kimberley, even there we can see some rugby again. So yes, I'm just excited, because obviously in a year's time the British and Irish Lions is coming. So yes, interesting times lie ahead for South African rugby.
Absolutely. I agree with you, and I think it's going to be very interesting. That is the one thing that I just want to point out. If we do not get back on the rugby field in the next couple of months, I am personally very scared for next year's rugby to continue. There's a couple of speculations already that we won't be able to defend our rugby championship, because we won it last year, which is amazing, for the first time in I don't know how many years, 8 or 10 or 12 years. So it will be scary to know that we are going to walk in and play rugby almost a year. All of our players took a year sabbatical, and that's quite shocking. So hopefully there's great news coming ahead, and that it's on its way, hopefully. But then we will see. We'll see it in the news.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to drop the question of the day, final question of the day, and then I'm going to give over to you to sign off. So with the New Zealand Sevens being appointed the 7 Series champs, do you think the Sharks have a claim to be crowned the Super Rugby champs officially of the whole tournament? Or should each nation crown their own victor and they be deemed the Super Rugby champs of 2020? Interesting question. I think I thought about it for a bit. So, yeah, that's my thoughts.
Great question, Daniel. All your questions are great, man. So please tweet us your replies, or you can drop it in the comment section below. And then for everyone who's listening, we really appreciate you. We really we hope that we are adding value in the rugby space, and that we talk about the things that not all online producing shows or rugby shows wants to talk about. We like to talk about different types of things. And so just go check out all our podcast episodes, our YouTube videos, and so on. Thank you so much for your time. And until next time, hashtag RFD family.